Hi, my name's Hayley Joyce. I teach Year 6 at Dominic College in Tasmania. I have another role in the school, and that's the Coordinator of Pastoral Care, and that's for kindergarten to Year 6. At Dominic College, we've put in place a school-wide positive behaviour support approach where we've got a team of people that have been going to some professional learning where we've had an expert talk to us about how to implement this in our school. We've then come back to the school and the staff and run lots of staff meetings about the processes. Our focus fits in with the National Safe Schools Framework, fits in with Element 5. The purpose of today's meeting was to plan for next year and where we want to go with school-wide positive behaviour support. Okay, so as a staff we've been looking at the 8 key expectations based on the positive behaviour support research about how we really help students to learn and engage with their learning. So we broke those down at the staff meeting. Staff had a look at each area, ranging from having clear classroom expectations to the encouraging of expected behaviours, task difficulty and active supervision. So we've had a look at those. What we're aiming to do now is to summarise those into 4 points under each area to go into the staff handbook. So it's almost like an expectation for staff as to how we run our classrooms to make sure the students are achieving to their best and being set up for success within the rooms. As K-6, we've also adopted the Kids Matter framework. That involved myself and our counsellor going off to some training where we had an expert teach us about the 4 components of Kids Matter. We then came back and shared this knowledge with staff. And then out of those components, we've built on our social emotional learning curriculum and adopted programs such as Bounce Back to explicitly teach social emotional skills. In K-6, we'll continue to, we've sort of rolled out the Bounce Back program. Next year, I'll continue to really focus on it and make sure teachers are having the time in their programs and really teaching that. And so yeah, we're sort of encouraging a 45-minute period every week, but at the moment I'm not really, making teachers accountable as such and making sure they're doing that. Perhaps that's something that next year I can really make sure that staff are really spending the time on the program.
What might be the best way to do that, to bring that accountability in, or consistency of delivery and accountability?
I think it should be timetabled in, so every class is doing it on the same time, and then you've got time to possibly have a few assemblies or gather classes together to work together.
I guess in K-6 as well, keep encouraging teachers to be using the language of our 4 expectations of respect, responsibility, honest learners, continuing to use those with the kids so that they can really understand and teaching what they mean. It's really important with children to teach them and really acknowledge positive behaviours and to really explicitly teach those positive behaviours. The research has said that students and children really need to have 6 positives to every negative they have in school. So the 6-to-1 ratio is taught to us through the school-wide positive behaviour support, and then we've then talked to staff about that, so staff are conscious of trying to give students those positives but also then correct them with the negatives, so to make sure they are, we're really focusing on those positives and teaching the expected behaviours.
What does expert knowledge and/or research indicate about how to develop positive behaviours in learners? In what ways do you keep informed and/or inform your colleagues of state and national policies and initiatives relating to student welfare and behaviour?